Are you one of those people that works hard, gets great results, but then after you've achieved that goal, you seem to drift back off into old ways? There's a perfectly legitimate reason for this, and usually it's because you are very good at executing the tactics. You're very good at following a plan, doing as you're told. Very good. However, if you overlook what I believe to be the most important thing, you might always drift back into old habits and end up reducing yourself back to your former self, even though you've just worked hard. So in this case, you will always get short-term results. Nothing will ever be long-lasting, and you never keep leveling yourself up physically. So this video is going to be what to do when life gets in the way of you achieving your mission. Make myself smaller because I'm absolutely fucking massive. Most men's physical endeavours are short-lived. Going to talk about the mindset. Always touch on the mindset, because the deliverables, you know the deliverables. You do the deliverables. You know you need to eat nutrient-dense foods. You know you need to sleep 7 to 9 hours a day. You know you need to do cardiovascular training and you need to lift weights. You know this. ChatGPT will tell you this. But there's something important that you're not taking that seriously, and it's catching you out, right? So we're going to talk about what's going to catch you out, and then I'm going to give you the actionables. So, for those of you that are new to the I always fucking mumble my words when I say that. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Paul Green, and I am a coach on the longevity program, in which men come to me that want to strengthen their joints. For whatever reason, life has happened and they have managed to accumulate some wear and tear in various different parts of their body, right? So it's my job to build a program in prioritizing their weakest joints to have the greatest impact on their quality of life. If that's something that you would find useful, the link is in the description. Book on a call with me and we'll see if you are a good fit for the program. And as you can see, all of these results, some major serious injuries in which we've managed to turn around. Unbelievable stuff. Right. Let's get cracking. The first thing, lads, is, I'm going to make myself a bit smaller so you don't get confused. Acknowledge that when you go on any physical endeavour, whether that's a physical goal, you want to run a 10k, you want to run a marathon, you want to be able to start lifting weights, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight. Acknowledge your current situation is a direct result of your current character. How you currently think and problem solve every single day. It is not it's not a consequence of your lack of physical tactics, i.e. a lack of this, sleeping, preparation, massively reduce booze and weed, and not having a stroke. It's not that. It's a character problem, right? So if you prioritize day to day thinking when your character is getting tested, you'll be way better equipped to deal with them daily battles that kind of test your personal standards, right? So let me explain this side. So where you are now, the cesspit, for example, or how you currently think. You currently think a meal plan, you currently think eating nutrient-dense foods is a diet. Oh, I can't wait to get off this diet. It's like, all a diet is, so the 2.0 version of yourself would just think this is not a diet, it's just eating really high quality food. So you see, the terminology in which you use every single day can infect. It snowballs and it causes dramas, right? If you say it's a diet, it's not a diet. It should be pretty straightforward and nutrient dense. If it's nutrient dense, it is going to make your body feel fucking unbelievable. You're going to have more energy, better recovery, better muscle mass gains. You're going to be able to perform better in all your sports. It's not a diet, just eating high quality food. You could say, I have to do all this exercise now. It's so annoying. You are training for a specific thing. It's the same thing. However, how you view it and how you think about that thing is either 1.0 version or it's either 2.0 version. The 1.0 version of yourself says yes to absolutely everything. And the 2.0 version of yourself should say no to almost everything, right? So I'll give you like a little bit of an introduction to this slide there. And this is where the problem lies, right? Is the 1.0 version of you who says diet, says exercise, says yes. There's a bit of kick there. Oh, it's all right. It'll be fine. You have implemented the 2.0 habits. So you've built a structure into your life. You've massively reduced booze and weed, right? And whatever else craziness you end up getting yourselves into. You've improved your preparation. You've improved your sleep. But you still think like an absolute lunatic. You still think that this is bad. You still think all of this is annoying and it's a problem and it's a chore to do. And if you always think that, it's part of your character, it's part of your DNA. So when you finish your mission and you achieve the result, the physical result, you don't achieve the character result. So you fall back into that cesspit where you are literally exactly the same person that you were before you even started. And that's a really, really sad thing, right? So, just to wrap up that, acknowledge that the reason you are currently in your current situation is not because of a lack of these 2.0 habits. It's not because of a lack of these 2.0 thoughts. It is because of an abundance of 1.0 thoughts, your current thinking, the cesspit, the creature in your mind thinks like this. The absolute creature. And when you're so embedded with that creature mentality, the creature is repulsed by even calling it high quality food. The creature is repulsed by calling it training and strength training. The creature is repulsed by saying no because of the consequences of it. When you're proper in a bad way, this is just who you are, right? However, if you be this man for 24 hours, slowly but surely that creature will start to leave your body. 24 hours. Then another 24 hours. Then the creature gets left behind. But you need to think every single day like this. You need to think and problem solve like an athletic version of yourself. Because if you don't, you will always fall back into the cesspit. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, most people miss the thoughts and the problem solving as if you are the 2.0 version of yourself. People just do the habits and then fall back. Do the habits, get the results, fall back into the cesspit. Do the habits, get the results, fall back into the cesspit. Roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, yo-yo shite. Always achieving temporary results is a fucking absolute curse. And this video will get you through that. You will never do it again. So, an analogy. The straight line, right? You've got the 1.0 version of yourself, and then you've got your mission. And every time you take a step forward on the straight line, you are being the 2.0 version of yourself. However, there is life. There is life. There is a lack of time in the day. There is the kids' hobbies to worry about. There is social events. There is family days out. You've got your own personal hobbies. Family are visiting. the weekend, the boss wants you to work late, you're working away, you got work nights out. You've got the festive Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of that stuff coming up, right? So, the 1.0 version of yourself who has instilled all of these habits, but hasn't instilled these habits, the mental habits, the character habits, will just go, yeah, I've got no time, I'll do it tomorrow. Kids' hobbies, yeah, kids are the priority, I'm a good dad. Social events, yeah, I'm not going to say no to that because I'm scared of the peer pressure and I'm scared of, what they'll say behind my back. I don't want them to think I'm a dickhead. Family day out, yeah, it is what it is. I don't need to do anything about that. It's just a family day out. Whatever the kids are eating, I'm going to eat. You've got your hobbies, yeah, my hobbies are the priority. Listen, your hobbies should always be the priority, by the way. Men having fun is a fucking important thing, right? But this is the 1.0 thinking. You've got all these habits, you're eating healthy, and you're getting pulled all over the place, right? What I will say is these battles never end, right? So the sooner you appreciate that it's a character problem, and the sooner you see that this is a battle, this is a test. Time, I've got no time. What am I going to do? How am I going to solve that? Because these are battles against your personal standards, and you can absolutely go left and right and round in the corner, round the roundabout, turn left 3 times and end up all the way down here somewhere. However, if you maintain your personal standards while doing these things, you take steps forward. Remember, it's about having the 2.0 problem solving, the 2.0 thoughts, and the 2.0 habits for 24 hours. You take a step forward. Listen, right? All of these things never end. It is never the right time to do a physical endeavour. In the parachute regiment, all of the lads I used to work with wanted to join the SAS. They'd be like, next year I'm going to join the SAS, I'm going to go on selection. They would always say, January, Monday, I'm going to start training. All the standard excuse, standard shite to wait, because they, in their head, want to wait for all of this stuff, all of life, to just go, whoop, so then they can push this. It doesn't work like that. These things will always be present. They will always be present, and they'll be even more present the closer you get to your mission. But they are a test to your character, right? And all that you need to do is live by your personal standards for 24 hours. The alternative is living to somebody else's personal standards for 24 hours. You can never get any results. You can never, if you're constantly living to somebody else's standards. Yes, of course, you're a dad. Yes, you've got family priorities. However, the fundamental is yourself. You take meals with you out if you want to. Just make sure you've got high energy. To make sure you're not hungry, eating shite with the kids. Like, yes, okay, give the kids a treat every once in a while. Happy days. But if the kids see you eating like an absolute athlete, they're going to be like, what's Dad eating? Daddy's eating porridge and he's eating, he's eating eggs. Dad, can I have some of that? You lead in there, and your habits, you adhering to your own personal standards, the 2.0 version of yourself, thoughts, problem solving, and habits. What do you think happens to those around you when you are living your life like this and feeling unbelievable, better recovery, better muscle mass, better in your hobbies? What influence do you think that's going to have on your family? Because the alternative is you get sucked in to the old version of yourself, and then your family becomes that 1.0 version of you as well, and you just drag each other down, snacking, cans of Coke, all that shite, excuses, negative attitude, guilty, shame, jealousy, all that shite. You as a man are responsible to drag your family up out of the cesspit. And you can do it. And men do it on my program. Link is below. Book on a call with me. We can go through this process together. Remember, this is a constant battle against your personal standards. It doesn't end. And it's a test. It's a test to how much they mean to you. Each small victory will develop your mental resilience. Each loss, you will prove to yourself where you belong. Just to summarise that, acknowledge it's a mindset and a character problem fundamentally. It's not because you're not eating healthy. It's not because you're not doing a thing. It's not because you're not doing cardio or you're not doing 10,000 steps. It's not because of that. It's not. It's because of how you think and problem solve every single day. That's the reason why you're there. With that in mind, you are now better equipped to be aware of the daily battles that are going on against your personal standards, and you can also preempt them and prepare for them. You've got your meals, you know when you need to train, you know when you need to do your stuff, to adhere to your own personal checklist. One tiny thing, I have a notebook, personal, right? It sounds so simple. I've got a business notebook, I've got a creative notebook for my YouTube videos, and I've got a personal notebook. 3 notebooks. All 3 of them are equally as important, right? However, when life gets busy, this seems to be the first one that wants to go, and it's not anymore, because I'm literally on a mission to get a grip of this situation, right? Because it's very easy, it's very noble of you to go, well, I'm a family man, I'm a businessman, I'm developing my business. Very noble of you. However, you look and feel like a bag of shit, and what are you going to do about it? Because no matter what external thing is going on, at the end of the day, this is in absolute tatters, and it can be turned around if you keep watching videos on this channel. And we talked about the analogy, staying on the straight line. 24 hours, thinking like the 2.0 version of yourself, like the athletic version of yourself, problem solving like the athletic version of yourself, and instilling the 2.0 habits, the athletic daily habits. Because the longer you are repulsed by thinking like a better version of yourself, you will never be a better version of yourself. You'll always remain. It always comes down to thinking, fundamentals, problem solving. Because this is the real battle. With all of this, I've obviously mentioned a lot, and it probably blew your mind and probably panic central. As long as you start small, do you know what I mean? As long as the habits, as long as the thoughts, as long as the problem solving, as long as you start small, it'll be a hell of a lot easier. And then as the weeks progress, you can start to tweak, make a tweak, add the extra 20 minutes of cardio, add the extra 2,000 steps, add the extra words into your vocabulary that are more positively framed. Gentlemen, that's it from me. If you liked the video, if you found it useful, like the video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Every day I post. And if you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis, the link is in the description to book onto a call with me, figure out your situation, and see if you are eligible to jump on the longevity program. See you tomorrow.